Hey there everybody, it's Nathan Cool with nathancoolphoto.com, and in this tutorial I want to show how you can easily fix flash reflections that show up in reflective surfaces such as kitchen cabinets and also leather, other things like that. You've probably seen this before using flash photography for real estate. If you start flashing near a wood reflective surface, you start seeing these reflections blowing some stuff out. If you apply flash ambient blending to it, you get this gray splotchy looking stuff on that, and so you need to fix it so it looks something like this. Now it's a very easy fix to do. I show some methods, different methods in my advanced editing book. You won't need a copy of that for this particular tutorial. If you are interested though in checking out some of my real estate photography series, I have a link to that in the description for this video. But real quickly I'll show you how this is done. Also I'm going to discuss why this is happening so you get a better understanding of why you're going to apply the fix that I'm going to show you here. You ready to see how this is done? Let's get started. So I've cut ahead to the chase here, and I've already got my two layers open here in Photoshop to do the flash ambient blending. What I have here is an ambient shot, and that's the top layer. Underneath of it then I have a flash shot. So this is the flash shot, and you can see there's a lot of flash stuff going on here. The area that we're concerned about here is this reflective surface up here in the cabinet, and that's from the flash. So the other area here, this can be taken care of mostly by ambient, and I'll show that once again, that flash ambient blending technique. And I've got a video also earlier that shows how to take care of this if you really want to eliminate almost all the reflections off of stainless steel appliances. But as we look here, if I apply the ambient to it, you want to use necessarily just the ambient. There's some weird colors going on. It's actually turning these cabinets green because of the fluorescent lights up here. That's not the color of the cabinets. The true colors we can see is being shown with the flash shot. There's also some warmth that's showing up on the kitchen counters from coming outside, some green casts and all that, and of course that's why flash takes care of it. Now this is a very simple example, just using one speed light, but that was enough though to cause that reflection. So what we'd normally do for the flash ambient blending, I would turn this layer into luminosity mode, and immediately we can see those gray splotches appear. Let's do the full flash ambient blending where I'll go layer mask hide, take a brush. I'll use about a 30% flow to do this very quickly, and let's start putting in some of that ambient luminosity. Most of that once again takes care of that refrigerator and those reflections there, and now the natural reflections are showing up there. And of course once we get over here to the cabinets, then we've got that gray splotchy stuff going on. So anyways, now we're starting to get a more natural looking picture by blending the luminosity of the ambient layer in here, but we're left with this terrible artifact over here. And the reason for this is because if we go back to our flash shot, there was a lack of color. It was blown out, and in these blown out highlighted areas you were missing color. So if all that you do is apply luminance on top of it from the ambient shot, the luminance says, well, I don't know what color that is, but I will darken it. And that's all that it does, it either darkens or lightens. Now, one way to fix that is you could use the normal mode, and some people cheat and do that. And what's happening here, it's turning now our cabinets green. That's not what we want. We want our cabinets to have that true color. So all that you need to do is add that color back in, and it's a very simple process. Here's how you do it. Select your flash shot. Now go over to your color picker and select the foreground color. Now select a color on the cabinets that is showing, not the dead area, but one of these areas over here. That's all that you have to do. Click OK. Now go all the way to the top above the ambient layer and go to the layer menu, and you want to select a new fill layer, and then you want to select a solid color. That can be named to anything you want. And it allows you once again to verify what color we're going to be using. In this case, of course, it's that one that we selected in the earlier step. It's that brownish color, and you can say OK. Now, very important, you want to change the blending mode of this layer to color. Now, the layer mask over here needs to be inverted. Select that layer mask and do Control I or Command I. And now take a brush and any flow that you feel is low. Once again, I'll just use 30% here on my flow, and then you just brush that color back in. That's all that you have to do. You can see there's other spots here that we're missing, over here even by the refrigerator, some of that showed up as a reflection. To be safe on this, you can also then do a boundary edit where you would, for instance, draw a polygon, you know, around the area to make sure that you don't take that color and spread it out over the walls. And now you can, if you needed to, you could edit within that area and overlap and not worry about it. So anyways, that's how you fix it really quick. That was with the color layer. This is without the color layer. And you can see now we've got the true colors more coming through than if we had just used a normal blending mode, which of course would defeat the purpose of using flash ambient blending, where rule number one is we want to make sure that using flash, we're doing that because we can get the correct colors. Then we can add in our luminosity from ambient, and then we can fix easily enough these type of artifacts by just adding back in the color. And that's all there is to it. Now, the quick part about this is when you take subsequent shots throughout the kitchen, for instance, this is a very small area of a kitchen. This kitchen itself had about 4 different compartments, very large type of kitchen area. So when you're moving through, though, any kitchen shot, whether it's even a small one here and you're doing different angles, that same color that you selected as your foreground color will be selected constantly as you move forward. So all you have to do is then, instead of picking a color, you don't have to do that step. You just pick then the fill layer and then invert that layer mask and paint it on really quick, and that's all there is to it. Anyways, I hope this tutorial was useful for you and that you can use some of this in your photography as well. If you did like this video, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It won't cost anything, and as soon as one of these videos is posted, you'll be the first to know. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, take care, be safe, and get out there and shoot something.